Welcome back to Joy of the Hang. It's Sharon and Lauren. How are you, Lauren?
I am just spectacular on this beautiful Monday in April, tax day, right?
Is it already? Is it the 15th?
Is it the 15th yet?
Did you say it's tax day?
No, tomorrow's tax day, but it's close.
Okay, it's close. It's lurking.
Close.
It's lurking.
It's
but
lurking.
I'm great, Sharon. Thanks for asking.
I am so excited that we have your daughter with us today. Hi,
We
Davis.
do. Hi, Davis. Hey, Big D.
I'm excited to be here.
This is a first mother-daughter episode.
Right? This is going to be a lot of fun as we dive in and get some tea for what's been going on, get some stories.
I think this is going to be an hour straight of you trying to be hip.
Oh, Davis.
Now, I don't know a lot about Davis, but I know that you're quite the influencer on TikTok.
Oh, I guess you could say that.
Well, how did you get started with that? I'm just really, how
It's
did that
actually
all
pretty
start?
funny. So it was the end of I was going into freshman year. So it was like freshman year and my TikTok account got deleted. Just like some random TikTok I've had since high school, like since it was Musical.ly. And it got deleted. And obviously I was like, shoot, I want to stay in touch with my favorite influencers. I want to keep up with my friends. So I was like, I obviously have to make a new account. I tried to get my old one back, didn't work. And I think that account had like 800 followers maybe.
Uh-huh.
And I made a new account and I was like, great, no one will ever find this account. I can post whatever I want. So I made the name. I don't know if you guys heard of a Finsta, like a fake Insta that all the kids used to do back in the day. So that was kind of my idea behind it. I was like, no one's going to find it. I could make it a funny name. And I was choosing between Diva Davis and Davis Ho. I'm happy I didn't go with that. That would have been a name. So I remade a TikTok account, named it Diva Davis because I thought it was like a silly little thing, not in a serious way. And I was like, no one will find me. I can post, as I said, whatever I want.
Uh-huh.
And sorry, I think I'm starting to repeat myself. And I just started posting videos of me talking, videos of me with my friends. And I remember, I think it was like my second video. I was back at school and I did a get ready with me in my friend's dorm room. And I like passed the phone around. It was very unorganized and it got like 50,000 likes. And I was like, oh my gosh, let's do it again. So I made another get ready. It was actually a video of us going out to the bars.
Okay.
And it was like really late and I just filmed it. And that also got like a 50,000 likes. And I was like, holy crap, I'm famous. I'm gonna keep doing this. Like, wow. The people love me. Oh my God.
They love me.
And so then I would sit in my dorm room and I would make get ready with me videos. That's pretty much what I started with. Just getting ready for like frat parties or exchanges, date parties. And I was getting like 400 likes a video at the time. And to me, I was like, oh my gosh, again, I'm famous. And then I think I had like 6,000 followers at that point, and I was like really wanting to hit 10K. And the first brand that reached out to me was Bloom Nutrition, which back then was like a lot bigger. And I was just like, the only people I've seen work with Bloom are influencers. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm an influencer. So I think that was kind of what really kickstarted it because Bloom would obviously pay me. And I was like, I'm making money.
So how did they reach out to you? They DM'd
They
you?
just DM'd me on TikTok DMs and would pay me. So I was like, I'm making money off of this. So it's my job now. There we go. And then I told it was funny actually because my freshman year roommates who I went random. I had 2 random roommates freshman year and they're my best friends. They actually happened to be in my sorority. And I remember just saying to them, again, had like 6,000 followers at this point and being like, I'm going to be famous. Like, I'm going to do this. This is going to be what I'm going to do. Like, I found my path. And they, of course, are so supportive, but as any friends would do, we're a little like, oh yeah, okay. And I was like, Kate, my one roommate, Kate, I was like, Kate, when I hit 10K, will you bake me a cake? Like, you have to go personally, like from scratch, bake me a cake. And she's like, how about 100K? Like, when you hit 100K, I'll bake you that cake, as if it will never happen. And of course, a year later, when I hit 100K, she knocked on my door and had a cake for me, which was really cute.
What flavor cake? What's your favorite?
I actually didn't eat it because my ex-boyfriend ate the whole thing before I could get to it.
But if you were going to have a special cake, what would it be?
Well, I'm actually not a sweet
chocolate?
person.
No,
not a
I really, no.
Okay.
In Barcelona, though, I would get this one cake. It was below me every day. If it is cream cheese frosting, I'm in.
Okay.
I'm in. I don't like the sweet, like, you know, the confet, like those.
But it's so funny. We're so the same that way.
Yeah, we are. We have similar
I don't
tastes.
like dessert and people always think that I'm not eating it because I'm on a diet or I'm restricting myself. Sweets aren't really my thing, but I do like the cream cheese like Davis does. Like, I love carrot cake.
So what is that what you have for your birthdays? Like if somebody were to get you a cake for your birthday, would it be carrot cake?
That's a great question. And I had my whole life growing up.
Such a good question.
Yeah,
Tell
but
us about this carrot cake.
Tell us.
Because it's important. What do you want for your birthday? I would have what's called a Linzer Tort, which is Austrian. My grandparents are Austrian, or I guess you could say it's German. It's made of like very dry, unsweet chocolate, chopped up almonds, and then it's got like a raspberry layer.
It's almost
in
like a shortbread, isn't it?
Exactly.
Kind of like
So not overly sweet, and you do like a dollop
like
of
that.
whipped cream on it. But that's a pretty random thing that a kid would want for their birthday cake. But that's what I used to love to have.
Yeah. So I had one video go viral on TikTok.
Yeah.
I had 2.3 million views.
Look at you.
I know.
What was the video?
I know. We were drinking around the world at Epcot.
Oh, that's fun.
And my daughter, so I took her there for her 21st birthday, and I figured she would be the one to get drunk, but no.
It was you.
It was
So
me,
funny.
and she videotaped every single drink that I had, and it was hysterical.
What was your favorite place there in terms of going around the world at Epcot
I think my favorite drink, I wish I could remember the name of it, but it was in China.
in China?
It was a really, really yummy drink. I can't remember that. That was so much fun. Have you ever done that?
No, I'm not a Disney person. Epcot is Disney, no?
Yeah. Who
We were not. 'Cause
Who
I
are
wasn't-
you?
I wasn't a
How did
Disney
you raise your
person.
children?
She- No.
I think a lot of times you raise them like you
gosh.
were. I never went to Disney as a kid. Didn't go until I was
So you-
dating my husband at like 23.
Not a Disney person at all.
And we were never, my kids, even when we lived in California and took them to Disneyland, they had an okay time, but it was more because they were hanging with friends or their cousins, not because they were at Disneyland. I think that actually, and this probably isn't a popular opinion, parents love it, so they make such a big deal about it.
Yeah.
And then create this sense of excitement with their kids, and I never did that.
So I'm guessing since you just got back from Barcelona, though, you do love to travel. Is that true?
Yes, I love to travel. I
Yeah.
do. But it was a lot. I was somewhere every weekend, and it was definitely a lot because I like to travel when I'm organized. Like, I like to have a suitcase, like shoving everything into a backpack and having like only dirty clothes the whole time. It was a little rough. It was like, it wasn't glam at all.
So you were roughing it while doing a semester abroad, traveling somewhere new every weekend. Weren't you in like Stad skiing and in Marrakesh? And where'd you go skiing?
I went 2 places. I went skiing in Balthorns with Emily, which wasn't an abroad trip. That was just like, I happened to be abroad and she invited me with her family. And then we did skiing in Switzerland.
Sharon, do you ski?
I do a little. I'm a beginner intermediate at best.
Well, it's funny. I've skied only a couple times, and my friends who have been skiing for life, like, I mean, I didn't force them to say this, I swear, but they were talking like a bunch of my guy friends, like, oh, how was everyone at skiing? And they're like, Davis is insane. Like, she is really good at skiing.
Isn't that
New
crazy? I mean,
talent?
we're an athletic family,
Yeah.
but I never skied.
I'm like, not to toot my own horn, I'm really good at it.
Terrified of it. So I'm wondering, is Davis so good at it because she was, has the gymnastics background, something with balance? I mean, one, which is great. She has no fear. I have fear. But I even just
I think that's a
asked
big
her-
part of it.
Yeah.
It's just you got to go down that mountain. But Emily was really good. When I went to Balthorn, she like taught me, we took a whole day just to learn technique, which really helped. Like just the stop where you go side to side and like stop. And that was a game changer because once I connected my no fear and my speed with technique, I was unstoppable.
I mean, I can't even, Sharon, I struggle getting off the chairlift. Like to not fall flat on
Oh,
my
really?
ass.
You never took to skiing, huh?
I just like did it, like twice. I'm terrified to be on like the smallest hill possible because I feel like I'm gonna go too fast and wipe out and kill myself. And being competitive, it's really difficult to see the 7-year-olds go whizzing by
Yeah,
me.
that's true. They're always really good. Those
And
little
getting on the
ones.
chairlift is horrifying because
But have you taken a lesson?
I took like one lesson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's what you need.
I think maybe that wasn't enough.
Well, and it's harder as you get older too, because you don't want to hurt yourself for sure.
No,
it's a hard sport to take up it as you're older.
Davis, what was like one of your favorite places that you visited? Because you were like somewhere different every weekend.
I know people keep asking me that, and I don't really think any trips to me specifically stuck out. I mean, I think I'm completely appreciative of studying abroad, and I think people like to judge me or make me feel bad that I say I didn't have the most amazing time. Like, I don't regret going, and I wouldn't have wanted to be anywhere else for a semester, but I don't know exactly. I can't really pinpoint what it was. I think it was just almost, I didn't have enough time to appreciate the places. I did appreciate it, as I said, but enough time to fully explore and like dive into the culture, because we were there for 2 nights.
Yeah, that's
and it was just very much like I'd go and I'd have like, I was always it was just really hard. I didn't have a washer in or I had a washer, but it barely worked. We didn't have a dryer in my Barcelona apartment, so I'd have to go to a laundromat, which I just didn't always have time to do that. So a lot of the times on these trips, I'd kind of have like not clean clothes or all of that. And it was just, I felt a little all over the place.
Is there anywhere over there you would live? I thought you really liked London and could see yourself.
I liked London. I did like London, but I really like Florida. I love Sarasota, Florida.
I have a mother-daughter question. So you are the youngest of 3. Mm-hmm. How would you describe your mom's parenting style? Because all 3 of you are very different.
I would describe it as hands off.
Hands off.
Yeah.
Elaborate on that, please.
I think a reason me and my brother, did you just say that we're all so different?
Yeah, I think you're different.
Exactly.
Do you think?
And I think a reason we were all so different is because we were given full, what would be the word? Full creative direction with who we wanted to be. And that's why I think we're all so different, because I think it wasn't like, as you said, parents make a big deal and almost convince their kids to like Disneyland. It's the same thing. Like, you raise your kids and you might convince them to act a certain way, or not convince, but just teach them. And I think she very much taught us the basics, like you're nice, you're polite. And besides that, you can be whoever you want to be.
That's a gift. Mm-hmm. I think that's a gift.
So I think that's why we're all so different, because I think it wasn't like, oh, no. Like you read, like you read every weekend. It was, if you want to read, you read. If you want to go run outside all day, do that. So I think that's why my sister liked to read. I like to party. My brother liked to go like do outdoorsy stuff. I'm not a really outdoorsy person, but
yeah. And
all of that was okay. It wasn't, no one was ever doing anything wrong. It was just, we were all different. And I think from a young age, she made it very clear, like you know, this girl, she amplified like, not only like, do you not have to be like everyone else, like it's cool to be different. So I think we all took that and ran with it in whatever direction we wanted to.
Although maybe you had to fall into that a little, because I don't know if you're going to remember, because I don't think you were too young, but when you were in gymnastics and they had the awards party with all the parents.
Yeah.
And
I do remember this, but it's valid. I still stand by it.
A skirt with like a long skirt that came below my knees. I had like a black sheerish bodysuit with like a bra under it, and then lots of chains and everything, and not big boobs. There was no like cleavage, and then really cool boots. And Davis was embarrassed that I didn't look like the other moms.
Yeah.
But I do think that was a fleeting moment.
Well, that was because, like, for example, as I was going to say, my coach at the time gave me shit for it. Like I didn't want to hear it, you know? Like, for example, do you remember how she made, I don't know if it was her or she made Jordan find me in a classroom and tell me what I was wearing to school, like, wasn't okay, remember?
Is that horrible? I hated that.
So she made my sister, like, come and find me. It's like mid-school day. And she's like, your gymnastics coach said, like, you can't wear that. Like, tomorrow, like, that is, like, you can't be wearing these outfits.
Wait, weren't you wearing, like, one of my coats and she said it was too big or something?
It was stuff like that. I honestly forget what it was, but it was something like that. So it's like, I'm even insecure.
How old are you?
It was, sixth grade? So if I'm even insecure to wear what I want to wear, the last thing I want is her telling me, like, what is your mom wearing?
Okay, that's like, a good point.
I just didn't want to hear it. And I knew, like, that growing up in gymnastics, like, people talk about it a lot. It's, like, kind of traumatizing. Like, your coaches, like, if you're not in a full split, they'll sit on you. Like, it was.
Oh, wow.
There was some things, like, I would cry probably at practice like twice a week, get in fights with my coaches. It's like I spent more time with my gymnastics coach growing up than I did my parents.
But she loved it. Do you remember?
I did love it.
Dad and I would say all the time, hey, Davis,
Yeah.
don't you think it would be way more fun to play a sport at the school with all your friends than gymnastics? We hated gymnastics, but Davis fell to it like white on rice. And my mother-in-law, like, one time took her to some little rinky-dink gymnastics thing.
And I fell in love,
absolutely, like, loved it.
What was your favorite event?
The floor, for sure. But gymnastics moms are like a different breed. And I think it was like, my coach didn't like that you weren't that gymnastics mom. It was also like, I would, if there was like, you always say, if there was like a football game on Friday, I'd go to it instead of practice. And I think a lot of the girls would be mad because, like, for example, I went to sleepaway camp for a month and I came back and just did all my skills. No problem. Like, I was back like I never left. And that is not the case. Like, these girls would be out of the gym for one day and it'd take them a while, which is fine. Take them a while to get their skills back. So people would be envious of that. And also my coach, again, didn't like that because she wanted the message to be like, oh, well, if you leave, you're not going to get it back. And I'd be like, really? And do it. So I think there was a lot of like envy towards her parenting style on me. So again, that correlated with the outfits, and I would just, anything. It was like, I'd be late to practice and they'd be like, oh, of course you're late. Like, your parents are always getting you here late. You know, or it'd be like, oh, your hair, like, your mom didn't do your hair. Like, do you see how everyone else's parents did their hair? And like, she'd always have to fix my hair.
You know what's so sadistic about that? We talk about women all the time, Sharon, about how cruel they can be and mean to one another, that she was sadistic enough to not like me. And so to then try and find a way to traumatize Davis.
Like, make me not like you.
We were very honest to them when they took Davis. We said, look, you know, she'd love to join your studio because people kind of shop around to find the best one. And we said, we know you guys have a great reputation and we'd love to bring Davis here, but we are not those parents. Like, if Davis, you know, has a sleepover on Friday, we want her to go to the sleepover. And, you know, we went to overnight camp. We like our kids to go to overnight camp, like, experience different things. So we were honest about it. So it's just like, so shitty that she would try and make Davis. Well,
she was trying to mold her into one of her team members and have her be part of the team. Yeah.
Okay, Davis. So,
but it was good because whenever I was mad at you guys for stuff, she'd agree with me. She'd be like, "Oh, yeah, that bitch."
you were never mad at her for anything.
Yeah.
All right, I'm thinking of a few questions as we're talking, but you have one? Go ahead.
No, you go first.
All right, so my questions are back to TikTok. Which TikTok video went the most viral?
It's my most viral video is the one of my parents on Thanksgiving and they're matching.
Oh, I love that one.
That's the most viral. And then my second most viral is one of me at the airport. Just like there is in the Denver airport and there was carolers at like 7 a.m. And I was like, are you really doing this right now? That went pretty viral. And then those two are actually like on paper, the first and my second viral. But then another really viral one is my Cabo one, which if I posted now, I would get canceled for. So I'm glad I posted it when I did.
That's funny.
What was on it that would get you canceled?
Well, if it's going to get me canceled, should I say it in the mic right now?
Yeah, you can
say it in the mic right now.
I said in the video, it's not that bad. I was just like, I was talking about how those children on the beach like to sell you stuff in Cabo, and I called them Mexican cartel children.
Oh, and that would get you, I guess.
That would get you canceled.
I feel like
I guess you're insinuating that anyone who's...
I was just like, oh, those little children on the beach who like work for their parents, like those Mexican cartel children trying to sell you stuff. And I think that was a little...
Yeah, I think these days it's very easy for something to be...
But I see that. I think I just wasn't offensive.
As though you intentionally mean something offensive, as though you...
Well, I think regardless of how you construe it, I think it isn't a proper way to say that. I think looking back, I'm like...
Looking back, you could have...
Not a great way.
No, because let's talk about the fact how horrific it is that these little kids are...
I know.
I know, that's sad.
Selling.
Yeah, it is. It's really sad. Yeah. And I said that. I said I bought it even though I didn't want it because I wanted them to have dinner.
Okay, good. So it was like a learning lesson for you. I'm glad.
There you go.
Good job. It's like you learn something. You do something new. It's like when you wore a bra in our what am I wearing? Get ready with me video last night. You actually had a bra.
Well, just because it went with the outfit.
Did she borrow yours or does she actually own one?
Oh, we can't fit in there.
No, I found one.
You found one.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody else wanted to go become a TikTok influencer, what kind of advice would you give them?
Yeah, what type of advice would you give someone?
Who wants to get into TikTok?
Yeah.
Yeah, how it's hard to become an influencer. So how would you tell someone to do it?
I think
are your mom and I too old to be influencers on TikTok?
no, absolutely not. I think you guys you would even have more of a shot than someone my age because think like what I was just about to say is be different. That's a good way. One, talk to the camera. You have to talk to the camera. Two, be different. Do something that they're not seeing. Like why should they follow you if they already follow 50 people like you? You know? And for example, there's not a lot of people your age who are cool and doing TikTok. What was that offensive? You guys gave me
No, we gave you a look because I felt like you were 2 seconds away from saying old. And
No, not old at all. No, not at all. Just moms. There's really not a lot of mom creators.
Bethany Frankel is killing it on TikTok.
I love
Bethany Frankel. I think Bethany Frankel is the coolest person who follows me.
She follows you?
I've told you 1,000 times. Mom.
Yeah, I think
that's my favorite follow.
I love her.
Cool.
And I know people want to hate on her.
But that's why I like her. I like her because she's a little controversial. That's what I like.
You know, I think she's smart and she's worked hard.
Yeah.
And so I think for any reason that someone wouldn't like her, I just really, really
So talk to the camera, but I'm wondering, like, should you review products like she does? She has Handbag University and Jewelry University and she does things like, or can you just have like conversation?
Well, I think what I said is a great idea for going viral. Like we talked about this around, which I've taken inspiration from, is Acquired Style. She's a creator. She's actually my same agency, DVA. And she every year, she just like, instead of taking something that you could make in one video, making it a series. That's what people love. Like example, Bethany Frankel in the handbag. Like it's a series.
Right,
people love series. So like Acquired Style does like a Thanksgiving outfit thing every year. So one, it's something you know to look forward to. And two, she makes like 15 videos out of it.
Is she just
she does showing the outfit. She does the get ready. They're twins. She does showing the outfit.
Is she more successful than her twin sister?
I would say they're both successful, but yeah, she does have more followers than her sister. Yes. Yeah, but that's a really good way is coming up with the series. That's why I do like the fit checks because people like familiarity. People like doing it. So yeah.
Who's your favorite besides Bethany Frankel? Who's your favorite like older person, more our age that you follow? Can you think of someone?
Yeah, Caroline. How do you? As we know, I'm terrible at pronouncing names, but Caroline Baldino. What's her name?
Or is it Banderas?
I have no idea. I see it. I don't even. I just see her. I see her face and like love you. Yeah, we love her. She's cool.
I think
because she's herself.
I saw her online, Sharon, and I'm going to ask you if there's someone you've been scrolling and found online when you're like, oh my gosh, like that's me. She wears all the jewelry like I had. I've been called Mr. T a gazillion times from wearing a ton of, necklaces. People have said that to me forever. The fake fur, wearing sporty chic with heels, boots, what have you. But when I was scrolling through, I'm like, oh my God, this woman is like me. So I think it's funny that Davis likes her and follows her. And but there must be.
She reminds me of you. That's why I like her.
I don't think there's anybody that I can think of that I would say
that you've seen that you've thought, oh my gosh, like that could be me.
No, I'm really boring. So no.
Oh, you are not.
I'm really boring. No, I don't really. I can't really think of anybody off the top of my head.
So who besides Bethany Frankel, is there someone like her that you follow that's our age or that you know? Or how about younger? Is there someone Davis's age that you follow?
I follow Davis.
Yeah.
I follow
Davis, let me ask you this. Like, I've had plastic surgery. I've said that, mentioned it on our podcast many, many times. Do you think you will ever have plastic surgery, and do you think you're more likely to have it because I had it?
I don't know if I'm more likely to have it because you had it. I don't know if that really plays into it. Maybe just because you look so good and I want to look good too.
Aw, that's a nice.
Oh, bonus points.
Yeah. I'm saying that because I wanted to pay for it. I don't know. I think, honestly, it's almost the opposite effect. Like, I think if you didn't get it, I would already have a bunch of stuff like Botox. But I think since you have it and you're very open about it and very much like I know you're not going to sit here and tell me like, you let me get my lips done. You're like, oh, that'll look good. If you want to get your lips done, get your lips done. So I would feel like if you didn't get it and you were like, oh, don't get Botox, I'd be like, oh, she doesn't know, she doesn't get it. But since you get it and you're very knowledgeable on the fact, when you say, oh, you're too young, I believe you. I don't think you're just telling me that to tell me that.
Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah. Do you have any tattoos?
No, I would never get a tattoo. I don't like tattoos on me. I don't.
Yeah, I have one, and I don't. It's my twin sister and I got it in Barcelona when we turned 50.
Really? In Barcelona you did
Yes, isn't that crazy?
I didn't know that.
And I wear bracelets a lot over it, I'll admit. We got it because my mom died at 49, so turning 50 was like us sort of saying, hey, I made it. But I'll admit, too, I'm not a tattoo fan, and part of why I don't like it is I feel like so many people have them that I would have been more unique by not having a tattoo at all.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're studying abroad. What are you majoring in school?
Business marketing.
And what do you hope to do?
Shoot, I hope to be famous.
Keep doing what you're doing.
I know. I don't know. I want to work in fashion, which I was actually thinking about that yesterday because I was like, I always am. What? You want it? Oh, I always feel pressured to be producing content because it's my job in a way, or it is my job.
Yeah.
And I kind of am like, okay, what can I post that I can get use out of, that I can use myself to grow? And that's why I really like our fit checks, because I think it will help both my futures. It will help my TikTok career. Oh my gosh, I'm lisping because my Invisalign. And it will also help my career in fashion.
True.
Yeah. So I always said I want to do something fashion, but it's like, what do you want to do in fashion? I don't know.
Right.
I just want to be doing something I enjoy. And I think in the work field, there's very few things I would enjoy.
So how did it affect you rather when TikTok was kind of banned for a minute? Mm-hmm. And are you worried about it being banned again in the US? Yeah,
I definitely am worried. I was like, oh shoot. All of my friends were like, dude, you'll find something else. Like, you'll be good. Like, it doesn't matter. Everyone's in the same boat. I was definitely really nervous about it. But something that I always say to, I had a long conversation with this about my dad, is I'm not very religious, but something I do believe is, whether you want to say it's God or whoever, I fully believe your path is already made for you. I believe when you're little, you like certain things because that's going to be in your future. I think you're a certain way because your path was already made. I fully think there's not much I could do to change my future. I think my path is already carved. So it's I don't really think.
So you don't worry too much.
People say, oh, the world doesn't revolve around you, but I genuinely think it does. I think the world revolves around everyone. I think you know how they say everything happens for a reason? It's somehow everything happens for a reason. And I think each little thing is oh, well, if TikTok got deleted, clearly that must be in the cards. That must be what is planned for me. That must be what's going to get me somewhere. I don't think anything happens and ooh, this is going to set me back. I think everything that happens is for a reason.
That's such a great attitude.
It's such a great attitude, and that sort of makes me.
I love that.
Think we've talked, Sharon, about manifesting, and
I've manifested my whole life.
I think you sent out very positive vibes regarding yourself and where you want to be. Yeah. So that's what you attract.
Well, more than that, what I've come to find out is people love your authenticity. People love how genuine you are. They're drawn to you. Mm-hmm. I mean, I have to tell you, so your mom probably told you this, but we were on a cruise for New Year's Eve with your parents, and these girls came running over to your mom and oh my God, are you Boots? Are you Davis's mom?
It's just crazy. It's the coolest thing ever.
I'm looking at her and she's like, yes, I am. and they're like, can we take your picture?
Yeah.
And I'm
the picture thing is crazy.
Okay. Apparently I'm here with a famous person.
Yeah.
So it really has
fun.
a far reach.
I'm not going to lie. It's fun.
It's a far reach. Smile. I mean, here we are on a cruise going to the Bahamas and yeah.
Do you know why though I think it's fun and makes you smile? Because they do. It happens more frequently.
Oh, it happened
now,
at Wine, Women, and Shoes to you too.
Happened at Wine, Women, and Shoes.
Thing.
Yesterday in the grocery store, I was picking up, mayonnaise and, trash bags. And this young girl and boy walked in behind me, and I heard her say to him, I think that's, Davis's mom.
You don't tell me every time this happens. I wish you did.
And it makes me smile because I think that
cool.
they like Davis, and I think it's because she makes them feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
She feels like part of it, which is what you and I like to do with our podcast and why we've called it Joy of the Hang, saying come hang with us, be part of our squad. Like, we hear you, we see you. Just because you're not famous doesn't mean you don't matter. Like, so I think in my mind, when I think of Davis's followers, I think of that's what it's all about.
Well, our new friend Lizzie Thomas, who was on the
Yeah,
podcast.
she DM'd me about that.
Yeah.
So
She was very
yeah.
excited to meet you. Yeah. So very cool.
Who would you want to meet, Davis?
Well, before we get into that, I think going off of what you just said, I think a huge thing is I don't have all the answers. I don't know. So you say, oh, I'm very authentic, which is true, but I'm still growing, which I've talked to my manager about it before, and we've just said, like, I'm so young and I'm growing and I'm posting these videos every day and they're going to be around forever. And I think definitely say 5 years down the line, I'll look back at some videos I posted and be like, oh, maybe that wasn't very authentic, or maybe I still don't stand by that or whatever. And so I think I am growing, and when you grow, your opinions change, you have different outlooks, and I think that's very cool that I am growing, and I think that's something I'm honest about. I think it's meaning, like, I don't think I have all the answers. I don't think everything I say I'm going to stand by in 2 weeks or even a month or whatever you want to say, because I'm still young and I'm still growing and I'm still figuring it out.
Even when you're older. I mean, Davis, how many times have you heard me say you don't become a mom or become a certain age or get married and stop fucking up or making
exactly.
mistakes? You hope to not make the same ones, but you
like,
still
hopefully I'll
make
never pronounce
mistakes.
Roberto Cavalier wrong.
Roberto Cavalli.
Roberto Cavalli.
And Davis, what did you call him in your
You know what
video?
they say, the better you pronounce it is the more you buy. So I just gotta buy more, I guess, and then I'll have to know how to pronounce
You
it.
mean the more you buy, the better you pronounce
Yeah, the more you own of it, obviously. It's like, that's why I pronounce Chanel so well.
That's like in that famous movie with, I can't even remember the actress, but she was a stripper and she called the Versace dress Versace. Versace.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
But how, like, at the end of the day, who gives a shit? Like, if you like something and once you realize what it's supposed to be, then you want to say it correctly. But I would never make fun of somebody for saying a name wrong.
I would. That's why I'm a little embarrassed.
But do you feel like you're famous? Do you feel famous?
I don't know. I think a lot of time I have imposter syndrome. I mean, it's definitely like, I mean, I would go out in Barcelona and I would probably say I would take like 5 to 10 pictures a night. So it's like, what would you call that?
Right.
I think.
Do you like it, or does it feel intrusive?
Oh my gosh, I absolutely love it. I think it's the coolest thing ever. Yeah, I love it. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. Do you like it when people stop you?
I absolutely love it because I think if they're happy and you make them smile when you say, yes, I'm Davis's mom, and can I take a picture? Mm-hmm. Of course you can.
So do you like it that she's using your fame and riding your coattails?
Well, actually, and I'm not saying this, you know me, I'm very honest.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this to be nice. I don't think I would have half as many, maybe less than half as many followers if it wasn't for her.
Without her.
The videos that, like, if I post a video and my mom's in it, it's not getting less than 10,000 likes.
Yeah.
The people, I don't know if it's just they love you or they love I think they just love us. Like,
Queen.
they just love us.
They call you Queen.
They love you, yeah, but I think they really just love us. I mean, like I said, people like things that they're not seeing all the time.
Right.
Which is like a mom and daughter duo like us. There's not a lot of mom and daughter duos online, and I think we do it well, and we're cool and we're unique and
different.
Yeah, I love
so
I love
not
the
like
fit
we
checks.
look exactly.
That's my favorite
the same as
content I
one
produce
another.
is my fit checks.
Yeah.
Like, I look forward to it.
Aw.
Yeah, they're fun. Sharon, you and I need to do more because you love fashion like I do.
I don't rock it the way you do. You look great.
But you do.
Oh, yes, you do.
Yeah, you do. Very much so.
You guys are sweet.
No, we're not. No one is ever. Davis and I might be kind and we like ourselves so we don't say mean things to make ourselves feel better, but no one is ever going to say, oh, do you know Lauren Rowe or do you know Davis Rowe? Isn't she sweet?
That's like when my ex-boyfriend.
Not a
No,
word
did I use
that
the wrong
anyone's
word?
ever going to use to describe Davis Rowe or Lauren.
That's like when my ex-boyfriend's parents were like, oh, like talking to one of my friends. My friend told me this. They're like, yeah, Davis is so, like, she's really nice. She's a little quiet, though. Like, she doesn't so, then, what?
Have you met
Are
her?
we talking about the same Davis?
Someone called you quiet?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
My ex-boyfriend's parents said, just because, like, I think the only time I think I get nervous around parents is when it's a boyfriend. Like, both of my ex-boyfriends, I was always a little quiet around their parents.
Do you have a boyfriend now?
No.
Okay. There's a smile there.
Can you guys all hear the smile
there's a smile there.
Through the microphone?
Are we calling bullshit on that?
What?
Are we calling bullshit? I don't know. You're getting a little red.
She has a friend that's a boy.
Okay, you have a friend that's a boy.
He's my
He's
best friend, and we kiss. Oh, so what do you want to call it?
Okay.
Yeah.
But he's this boy I'm talking about is my ex-boyfriend. So
you would call it a friend with benefits.
I guess so. There we go. Friends with benefits.
Friends with benefits. If it's not a boyfriend.
So, right? Davis, what do you like when you look at, Sharon and me, and we're 35 years older than you are.
35 years old. I was like,
is there anything?
What are we telling these people?
Is there anything you
lies,
think
all
that
lies.
What's something that you think you're going to have or where you're going to be or when you're our age? Do you think you're going to be married with kids when you're our age? Are you going to be living in a penthouse as a career woman or?
Unlike most girls my age, I was baffled. We were sitting in, I forget what country we were in. Doesn't really matter. We were in, now I want to know the country. Let's say we were in Madrid, even though it wasn't Madrid. And me and my friends are sitting at a table having lunch.
Which the country would be Spain, by the way.
Oh, shoot, see?
Anyway, just a little tidbit. Keep going. Okay. It's okay. Not
one of mine was actually, but I was watching this this mashup.
It should be a country. Madrid should be its own country.
I was watching this mashup of this DJ who I love, who I'm friends with, and he said that same thing. He was talking. He was like, "Oh, is this a country?" And then it was cut. Next thing. It was funny. Yeah. Oops. Sorry. And they all were talking about their baby names, and they all casually, without even question, without the notes app of their baby names, and I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And it's you don't have a notes app with baby names? I already know my whole wedding. I know what my colors. I know my song I'm gonna have. I know. Oh my God, then that's normal.
What the actual fuck?
Mom,
are you serious?
Oh my God, I have a video of it. Every single one of them had a notes app. I was the odd one out. It was table of 6 girls, me being 6, all 5 of them had a full notes app of baby names.
Wow.
And so I'm just very bad at thinking into the future. Part of me is oh, I don't want kids. Part of me is I do want kids. I don't know.
Well, you're young.
Honestly,
do you have time to
Right. I think it's nice and good that you
I know where I see myself.
And that you have choices.
Exactly. I know where I see myself in 3 years. Definitely not more than that.
Where do you see yourself in 3 years?
I don't know.
Yeah, you just said Come
I
on.
know.
Come on, pretend your mom's not.
What's
sitting
your
here.
guess?
It's not my mom's sitting here. It's just kind of it's almost just kind of I think people are damn, you have big dreams. Pipe down.
You know what? Don't ever let somebody time out.
I know, but they're a little unrealistic. It's just
Mom, time out. Sharon, you tell.
I mean, what I'm going to say into this microphone, my dreams are to be the most famous person in the world in 3 years. It's a little laughable.
First of all, fuck yeah, and you just did.
Fuck yeah.
So, wait, that was so cute of you guys.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Don't ever let somebody tell you your dreams are too big. I'm going to tell you your dreams aren't big enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I also have to be realistic, It's also dad saying, he's
no.
You always have to have a plan B. You have to, what's your job getting when you graduate? I'm being famous. He's like, no, come on. What are we doing? Real estate? I'm shoot. Well, if my 3-year plan does work out, next year, I'm living in Pacific Beach, San Diego next year, finishing up senior year. I want to have a podcast senior year. I want to have a podcast senior year. And I think my goal is for that podcast to help me soar in the media world. I want
to beat Mel Robbins. You can beat Mel Robbins.
I want to be I don't know if you guys know who Tana Mojo is. She's very unhinged, very
What's her name? Tana
Mojo. She was.
Is that a made up name?
No, that's her name. She started on YouTube and she's very just crazy, out of pocket, just very herself. And I love
the
her.
next Alex Earl.
And I mean, that would be awesome, right? And I love that side. And not saying she isn't a businesswoman, whatever. We're not talking about Tana anymore. Love her though. I want to find a way to be that person. And also, again, not saying she's not a successful businesswoman, but how do I find the balance of being crazy, being unhinged, being a little inappropriate, but also being super respected in the business world? I want to find that because I want to do both. So it's I have to find a balance.
Yeah, you do have to find a balance. And
No, you don't have to find a balance. You create it.
Yeah,
you
that's
create
true.
it.
That's
You don't
true.
have to be there doesn't have to be a balance.
But
You
it's like, I think
create
Alex
it.
Cooper does a good job. Like, she has a podcast about sex, and the podcast name is Call Her Daddy.
Right.
Talks about
Yeah,
sex.
yeah.
Talks about literally what she went viral for is talking about how to give a blowjob.
Yeah.
And during the election, she had one of the candidates, Kamala Harris, on her podcast. And
Right.
so it's like,
I heard it. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like, that's,
which I
she
like
does a good
because
job
that's
at
a great
finding the
example.
balance.
You can do both.
Yeah.
You
But
can
if
do
you
both.
have to do it right, you have to find the balance.
Yeah. And I read somewhere, you know what happens if you have a plan A and you don't have a plan B? You make plan A happen.
That's what I said to my dad.
Okay.
That's exactly
I
what I
like
feel.
that.
I like that.
Plan A.
Because
I like
that's the thing,
that,
like,
Sharon.
Happen.
thing, my dad's like, you always need to have a plan B. And I'm like, listen, there is no plan B. Like, plan A is working out. Like, and also it's just crazy because it's like, it's so weird to me because what I'm doing right now, again, it's the thing about how I just went on a rant saying like, your path is already carved. Like, the fact I'm sitting here right now having the career, sometimes I feel a little silly calling it like a job and a career just because like, I don't know.
Don't.
You're
It is.
I know it is.
money.
It is my job. Yeah, completely. But it's hard, especially when like I'm explaining it to someone who's older and might not understand the social media, which obviously isn't you guys. Sometimes I feel a little silly because I'm like, oh, I make these. They're like, oh, you make these TikTok videos. I'm like, yeah, but I'm making like X amount of money, and if they could know X amount of money, I think they'd be like, holy crap.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy because it's like what I'm doing, like I could not, if you told me 5 years ago, like pick your dream life, like I'm absolutely fucking living it. And it's crazy because
That's
it's
so
like,
awesome.
because it's just like,
Yay.
again, like it's not only am I like loving what I do, like it is so perfect for me. Like, not only do I love it, it makes sense I'm doing it. I feel like I was made for this. And it's just like senior year of high school, again, I was still on that Davis Row TikTok. It wasn't Diva Davis yet with 800 followers. Doing whatever, and it's just like if you told me, like I had no idea I'd be here, but it just makes sense that I am. It's like that was always in the cards. Like senior year, this was always the plan.
Did you ever have any friends that were jealous of you and that said, you know what, I don't want to be friends anymore because
What?
because you're just becoming, kind of big. You're kind
I
of
think it would almost
kind
be
of
the
a big
opposite.
deal.
I think it was almost the opposite. I think once I started to like have people ask me for pictures, or once I hit a certain number on TikTok, I think girls who weren't nice to me started to be nice to me. I
That's
think
what
it's
I
almost
would
the
say,
fucking
Sharon.
opposite.
There were a couple of girls that were really shitty to her when she was living here in Florida when we moved down, and Davis basically did her senior year here, and there were some girls that were kind of shitty to her who now
all their friends in college are obsessed with, like their words. Sorry, I'm not. They're obsessed
Yeah,
with
but
me,
I
but
mean,
their words. They're like, oh my god,
I mean-
like my friend loves you, and I'm like, they love me. Do you? Like,
But social media can be mean. So how do you handle like negative comments? Do you get many or are you,
I don't know. Like I think.
does it
I
not
just think I'm pretty cool, and I think people know that too. I don't really get a lot of hate. Like I really don't.
Like I
Love
do.
it.
Like
I
when
love
I've had
it.
comments,
My mom's
they'd call me a
transgender, yeah, it's a
or
big
whatever.
one, yeah.
I just laugh. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, who gives a shit? What's wrong with being transgender anyway?
yeah,
like,
who
come
cares?
on.
Like, who cares?
I don't know why they think that's
So it's great.
offensive.
I used to be a
Okay.
guy, and now I'm a really pretty woman.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
who
It's my big
cares?
thing.
Like,
Yeah.
but people will say like mean things, and it's just a joke to me. And you read it all the time for a lot of these older women, like the mean things they say about what they have on, and they're showing too much or blah blah blah. I just look at it like you're so pathetic.
Well,
if
yeah.
you're actually
Agreed.
taking the time to write something negative and mean about someone online, you're absolutely pathetic.
right? I agree.
And I think it's also a lot of the times I've gotten hate, like a comment I've gotten a lot, the few I could think of, honestly, I guess people are kind of nice normally, is like about my appearance, I'm saying, is just like, oh, people say something like, oh, you need braces. And those stuff like that, where it's like something that I believe is true or something that is about my appearance.
Yeah.
I would get offended. Like for say I was like, this has never happened, but for say I was like sitting weird and someone was like, oh, like you're chunky, like that would hurt, even though it's not true. Something about my appearance would hurt. But what doesn't hurt, which is what is the thing that mainly happens, is people saying like, oh, you're so entitled, or oh, you're daddy's money, or oh, you're spoiled, or oh, you're a bitch, or you're a brat. And it's like, if you're going to say something and I know it's not true, I can't be offended by it. It's like when people are like, oh my God, like you've had a silver spoon in your life, your mouth, your whole life. It's like, how can I be offended by something that isn't fucking true?
That's so true.
Yeah.
And those are my main comments. I mean, I get the few about my body or about my teeth rarely, and those hurt a little. But then again, it's like, here I am with my Invisalign. So like, haha, like, you know, I'll be back and less snaggly than ever soon. And, so yeah, the ones about my appearance, I guess would hurt. But again, I rarely get them. And again, that's also something I could fix. And yeah.
That's great. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I think that's awesome too.
Yeah.
Any other questions, Mom, for your daughter while
Well,
you've got her here?
I do want to ask her the question that we ask everyone who comes on the show and we always ask ourselves.
Okay.
I mean, you might
Ask
be
away.
only just about to be 21, but I'm curious what you would tell your younger self. Like if you could go back right now to when you were like a freshman in high school or a sophomore in high school, what would you tell yourself?
That's honestly a really tough question. I think there's a lot. I think mainly I had a lot of trouble growing up with like girls being mean. I think that was my biggest thing. So I think I would just tell myself, you're cooler than all those mean bitches, so keep doing you. Like, I think it used to be like, I'm sitting alone at, there's been days when I would sit alone at lunch and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm such a loser. Like, I'm sitting alone. Like, and I think I would just give like, you should have the mindset, like, no, like, they're not sitting with you. You know, you're not sitting alone. Like, you're too cool to be sitting with them. Like, that's why you're alone. Because
why do you think girls are so mean?
Not that I think I'm better than anyone else, but I just would tell my younger self, like, they're no cooler than you. Like, if you're sitting alone, like,
Yeah.
they're unlucky. Like, they'd be lucky to have you sitting with them. Like, if you're sitting alone, then own it. Sit alone, like, fuck that. You don't want to be sitting with them anyway, you know? I think I just used to, like, let other people's opinions determine the opinion I had on myself. Like, be like, wow, like, I'm sitting alone, I must be a loser. And it's like, maybe they're just bitches. Maybe you're not a loser.
If you live your life,
I said that a little weird,
through
but
other people's eyes, you will never.
yeah, which I think is something I did a lot.
Yeah. I think we all have at one point or another.
But why do you think the girls are so mean? Why? Why are girls so mean? And then women are mean, and the same women that were like bitches in high school or then they're the moms.
I think there's a lot that plays into it. I think there can be miscommunication. I think people can be having a bad day. I think something's going on in their life. Something bad could happen that morning, which is why I've learned especially to just like not take things personal. I'm very bad at that. It's still, I take things a lot of times personal. I think a big thing is just like, don't take things personal.
That's a very mature way to look at it.
It actually is, because it's so true. It's oftentimes not about you.
It really isn't. I think that's a big thing. And I think
It's not about you.
something I've also learned is, again, it's the worst when someone's just, like I just said, like, isn't even actually like mad at you, or maybe they're just in a bad mood, and then you react in a way that's mean or whatever. First of all, again, like, maybe they were just having a bad day, so maybe you just shouldn't have said that because it wasn't personal, and now, like, you said something rude and whatever. But also, like, I lose my train of thought sometimes.
That's okay, so do I. It's our ADHD. We can't help it.
Really.
That's all right. I have a question. Do you post TikToks every single day?
I try to do 3 a day.
3 a day?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's a lot.
But wait, what I was saying, I think I'm getting it back.
Okay.
Is like, if someone is to do something, if my mom is to call me a bitch right now, right? That's mean. But if I'm to be like, oh, I'm a bitch, well, you're a fucking ugly cunt. Like, then I'm the bad guy. It doesn't even matter that she just called me a bitch because I just said that. And that's something I've learned the hard way. I'm very like, hit me with a 1, I'll come back with a 10. But then I've learned sometimes
Wonder where you learned that.
But then I've learned like sometimes like, then we both then go and talk. We're like, oh my God, she said this, they said this. And then it's like, whoa, she said what? And it doesn't even matter that they were the first one to be rude, because what I did was so much meaner, it just cancels it out. So that's also what I've learned. Just like how you react can be a game changer.
Game changer, for sure.
Yeah, which I'm still learning. I'm still not that good at that.
Well,
neither are you.
best of luck. 'Cause
Neither
I'm
are you.
53 and I still stink at it, and I'm still learning.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a great conversation. What were you going to ask me?
I know.
You
No,
were.
I was going to
Yeah.
say, like,
That's great.
so, I'm headed off
I know.
to be out of town. So Davis is going to come in and.
Are you really having me take over?
Yeah, you're going to fill
Will
in.
you?
For me.
Will you
I
fill
will,
in?
of course.
All right. It'll be interesting.
You got practice.
You can
It'll be
talk
interesting.
about our upcoming trip to Monaco.
Yeah, I don't really know
Grand
what to
Prix.
expect. That should be fun.
And you're off to Coachella
Yes.
pretty soon. So,
You
Which
have
is
to
funny
talk
because I
about
don't know.
that.
well,
crap
by the
about
time
it.
this airs, you probably, you will have gone.
You will have gone. So when you
Time is airs.
you can come back and talk about it.
Yeah, I'm
us
excited.
what
I
it's
don't
all
know what to
about.
expect. I went last year. It was awesome.
So Coachella, for those of you listening that don't know what it is a big music festival in California, correct?
Yes. And it has 2 weekends. I'm going weekend 2. Weekend 1 is like when everyone goes, the influencers, they bring people out. Weekend 2 is like very chill.
Okay.
Yeah, so I like
I
weekend 2.
wonder if it's similar to what was back in the day, the what am I-
Woodstock.
Thank you. Woodstock, not back in my day, but Woodstock, yeah. Even before.
Yeah, we're
me.
old, but not that
Not
old.
that
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
We're not Woodstock old.
Well, I go, the first weekend's really like crazy. Then you go the chill weekend, and I go the most chill weekend, which is not going at all.
She's not going. Lauren, for those of you that don't know, is not a big concert goer.
Not a
She's
concert
not a
fan.
big fan.
Yeah, like neither was I, but
Yeah.
you just got to do it right
I guess so.
with the right people.
It'll make good content.
Yes, exactly.
Great
It'll
content.
make
Good content. Yeah, I'm excited.
Great.
Well, thanks for being here, and I look forward to
I had so much
co-hosting with
fun.
you. We'll have to exchange.
Thanks for having me, guys.
information. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks. And on that note, we will say to our listeners,
Peace out, Girl Scout.
peace out.
Is that your
friends.
thing? Peace out, Girl Scout? Oh, jeez.